So this is my first video. My name is Jessica. Nice to meet you. Uh, I love TV, basically, is the gist of it. And I have a lot to say about a lot of things that happen on a lot of shows. Mainly a lot of reality shows. I won't say a lot of reality shows, but 90 Day Fiancé, okay? Married at First Sight, Love After Lockup. Those are going to be the three main ones that you will see from me. So, just, you know, be on the lookout. And I do want to do more series as well because I do love series. I really get into series and I love discussing them. So, tonight, we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, Season 7, Episode 1. We have a few, and I will say a few, interesting couples. And let's see, we have Jenny and Sumit. We have Yara and Jovi. We have Kim and Usman, and I keep wanting to say Lisa, and I don't know why. Angela and freaking Michael. Well, I should say freaking Angela and Michael because I'm sick of Angela. Like, who isn't sick of Angela? Who else do we have? Shit, I don't remember. Bilal and Shaida. Last minute, you know. Ed and Liz, who I don't know anything about because I didn't watch that Single Life. I don't watch Single Life. There we go. And I don't care about Big Ed. And if I missed anybody, you know, we'll get to them. But so this episode started off with Jenny and Sumit. Now, all the couples kind of just started off with like a recap of what they, you know, their journey that we've witnessed over the past 3 years, whatever. And so we start off with them in India, living happily, married. Jenny is obviously, you know, a lot happier, a lot airier. And she says she's feeling, you know, less pressure because they're married and, you know, they're out in the open. But Sumit's parents still do not know that they are married. And one has to beg the question, how? How are you unaware that your son has been married for about 2 years now on a show that you were on? Like, the whole issue with Sumit is that people know that they're married. So he can't tell, he's worried that someone else will tell them, that they'll find out from someone else. But they gotta know. They gotta know. How could they not know? Like, how could they not know? There's gotta be plenty of people. If people run their mouths like they said that they did, like they were worried that they would when they were first trying to get married, then they know. They have to know. There's no way that they don't know. So I'm like, this whole thing is scripted, but whatever. We're just gonna flow with it. Anyway, so we start off with them going to some kind of I don't know. They went to get something to eat. But yeah, so Sumit reveals to Jenny that he wants to invite the parents over to the house to reveal that they're married, to finally tell them that they're married. And Jenny doesn't think it's a good idea because they're living in blissful ignorance right now. So, you know, why bother that? Like, why? And she keeps saying, why did we leave the house? Which I don't understand what that means because there's also an old house that comes up later. But also, is she talking about like right now in this moment? Why did we leave the house? Like, why are we out at this restaurant right now? Who knows? So, and also Sumit's looking pretty good. I don't, you know, Jenny's lovely. So yeah, then we have Bilal and Shaida. I don't know. So they're cute. They're playing in the snow in Kansas City, and they are living comfortably. Well, I don't know. They're playing a scene comfortably in Kansas City in the snow, and I don't know if it's Shaida's first time. Shaida. I don't know how to pronounce her name properly. I don't know if it's her first time, or I don't know if it's just her first time making snow angels, but they make a snow angel. Bilal points it out like she's a child, like he always does, and they seem to be having fun. And it's a little cute moment. It's been 7 weeks since they were married, so who knows how long that's been since the tell-all. It's probably right after the tell-all. And they seem a little bit more comfortable with each other, in the sense that they aren't like Shahida isn't as uptight when it comes to Bilal making a joke, or one of his like stupid jokes that he thinks is funny, but it's not. And also Bilal, I guess, is more comfortable joking around Shahida because she now understands that he's just joking. He's not, like, don't take him seriously. I guess that's what I'm reading, but I could be off. And so they go through, the whole, this is how we met, this is our story, blah blah blah. And they bring up bring up the tell all, and how Shaida had the issue with Shahida coming to her kitchen and confronting her the way that she did, when she really had no place to. And so that made me think of the comment that Shahida, the ex-wife, brought up at the tell-all, where she was kind of disappointed at Shahida's reaction to the house, because she lived there for 2 years, and that was one of her first homes with Bilal. And I'm just like, okay, bitch, that's you. I can't live here. Like, what? There's no faucet, ma'am. Are you kidding? But whatever. I digress. So they go to this nice restaurant where Shahida explains that she starts to talk about how she loves American food, but she is still scared to eat beef because it's raw and pink. And so here is where I, for once, maybe in a rarity, will have to like be on Bilal's side and be like, that's where you get it well done, ma'am. Yeah. Not burnt. Doesn't have to be burnt. But it doesn't have to be pink either. You can get it however you want it. What do you mean? What do you mean? Come on. Anyway, so she orders this unsweet tea, but she doesn't like the taste, and then she tries to grabs his glass, and he's just like, nah, B, you order what you order, that's what you keep. So that's what she had to drink. But then she tried to taste, she was just like, let me just please get a little sip, can I please get just a little sip? And so she was just like, just a little sip. And so she took a sip, and he's just like, I see the backwash. But it's not like, I'm not taking Bilal that seriously this season, because obviously he's not, like, they probably, I guess, made it out to be more serious than it is. But I don't really think he's that, that horrible. So I think he was just joking when he said the whole backwash comment, and I'm not gonna take it seriously. But that's just me. I thought it was a cute little moment because she was laughing it off too. But then they get into the conversation about how they're trying to get used to married life in Kansas City, and he just still feels like there's, everything's cool, but there's still a little hurdle that they need to get over, and that hurdle is the issue with Shahida, and how she confronted Shahida in her kitchen about something that wasn't even her place to say anything about. So when they're talking about this, each time they're talking about this, Bilal is very disconnected. He's not in the conversation. It doesn't seem like he's very nonchalant about it. And it's almost like he wants, well, obviously, he doesn't want to exacerbate things because the most important thing to him is his kids. And he doesn't want to, fuck up that baby mama relationship, ex-wife, whatever relationship, and have a bad standing with his kids, or have something go wrong where he can't be able to see his kids because his wife and his ex-wife aren't getting along at all. And his kids are grown and they're at the age where they could make that decision based on what's going on. We want to side with our mom and we don't want to come around you because our mom doesn't like Shahida, whatever. But yeah, so every time they go or she brings this up, he doesn't really say much, but the one thing he does say is, you should move on, you should let it go. And part of me agrees with that because it wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't her place, but it's over with. And y'all are married and the prenup is signed, and like, why keep harping on it? But then I understand Shaida's point of view because she wants to make her place known. She wants to make it known that you can't come up in my kitchen and talk to me any kind of way about some shit that has nothing to fucking do with you. So I get that too. But Shahida did come at her. She shouldn't have gone over there. It was not her place to have that conversation with her, unless Bilal said something, which part of me has always felt like he like punked out and had her go over there and say something, or it was just like, maybe you should try to talk to her, maybe she'll listen to you, maybe you'll get through to her. But Shahida wasn't having that. Shahida, fuck it. So yeah, he wants them to all just, kind of get together so that they can be together for the kids, so that they can like just come together and resolve the issue or move past it or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. And when we come back to them, they're in the car and they're on their way to meet with Shahida. And, she's hoping for an apology. She's hoping for a resolution and an apology. But she's not leaving without this apology. She's like, I'm getting my apology and I'm going to set my place. She's going to know that she's not gonna, like, I'm the wife. I'm a citizen now. I don't know what difference that makes. But yeah, I'm the wife. I'm a first class citizen and you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. I feel you, respect. But yes, they end up having, Bilal says something or starts to say something, but he gets their names confused, which pisses Shahid off. Like, not the time, sir. Not the time at all. So then, let's see. Shahida explains how she felt very attacked by that encounter, which I fully understand, and I would be mad too. But I don't know how long it's been. It's been 7 weeks since they got married. I would still be mad if she hadn't said anything to me, and if he's still brushing it off like he is. I'd be like, y'all, some shit together. I can't. Anyway, so Bilal wants them to move forward, but Shahida still wants to make her place known, like I said, but she's worried now that, during this meeting that he's not going to be on her side. And I'm a low-key worried too. But I don't think he's going to be on either of your side. I really don't. I really think he's just like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to have to be able to see my kids and have peace. And that's what he said. Basically, in a nutshell, that's what he said. But she says, at the end of that scene when they are in the car, she says, if things don't go well at this meeting or whatever, that's your problem, not mine. And he says, oh, well, that sounds like that sounds like a supportive wife, but you're not being supportive of her right now at all. What do you mean? You've said 2 words. Move forward. So why you want support? Doesn't work that way. Or it shouldn't work that way. I'm going to come back to Jenny and Submit later because that was... I'm going to close with that one. That was a banger. Next we have Libby and Andre. No, you know what? We're not going to talk about them yet. They're boring. We're going to talk about Kim and Usman. All right. 51-year-old Kim and Soulja Boy. So we open on a lovely scene of, I don't know, Caribbean, Africa. I don't know. I don't get out much. But it's a very interesting rap song playing in the background. Do not remember what it was because I had tried to clear it out of my head. But the video in the background has some very beautiful African women, some dancers that kind of look like Lil Yachty, maybe one of them, I don't know, and Soulja Boy. And so we then switch to a scene of Kim just swaying her feet side to side, like tapping her feet while she's getting her teeth whitened, and she's watching the video. That's where the video is coming from. So as she's getting her teeth whitened, she has that thing on her mouth where, the dentist used to hold your mouth open while you're getting your teeth whitened. So, the fucking lady is trying to talk to her and ask her questions, and she's just like, I really can't talk right now. And I'm just like, of course, like, exactly. Why are you trying to ask me fucking questions? You see I can't say a thing. Why do they do that to dentists? I hate that. It's so irritating. Because it's not like yes or no questions. It's not like, It's like detailed. Like, you should have asked me that before. Or wait, can we have this conversation later? Anyway, I digress. So they're doing this montage of Kim and Usman's story and how they met. And I don't need to go over it. We know it. So while they're doing this montage, you also see Kim in her little aside confessional, whatever the fuck you call it. I don't know what it's called nowadays. And her teeth aren't any whiter, and I'm just wondering how. Maybe she had to get it redone. Maybe it was something she had to continue to get done, and she just didn't. So that's where we're going with that, because even after she was just like, oh my God, such a change, and so is the person did it, but of course that's what they always say. But her friends even said, yeah, it's really a big change, so I'm guessing it must have like re-stained or something. I don't know. We're gonna go with that though. And so then, we continue to talk about what happened after their last tell-all, in which Kim finds out that Usman called Zara after Kim left Tanzania, and didn't like what the conversation was about. So then we find out that, of course, Usman, begged and pleaded and charmed his way back into her heart, and she ended up going back to Nigeria. And he's now done what he has needed to do, what she has wanted him to do, to prove to her that she can now be confident in this relationship. So she's 100% confident in this relationship. You guys, she's confident. So, then we also find out that the reason that she's even getting her teeth whitened is because he made a comment about her teeth being yellow. When did this happen? I missed that. What was said? And what? Yeah. Okay, so then, so she's telling her friends, I think. Yeah, she's telling her friends that he invited her to Nigeria again. This time, he is going to introduce her to his family and his mom. And that's something that's really big to her. So she jumps at this chance and thinks, oh, this is a great idea. Let me propose to him at that moment. Yeah, when I go down there to meet his family for the first time, I'm going to go and propose to this man that I have been begging for attention and love and sex. Yeah. I was going to say something, but a bitch can't talk. So yeah, her friends are shocked and confused and basically have this stare on their face, just like, bitch, really? Are you, like, really? Are you serious? And it's just because they've seen her go through all of this, and, you know, like, we've seen her go through some of it too, but I'm pretty sure they've seen a more up-close view and a deeper version of the pain that she had been experiencing because, you know, they're her friends. I mean, yeah, they're her friends. And so, you know, naturally they're just concerned about her and they just want her to be happy. They don't want her to be hurt again. So they're, you know, they have a bunch of questions, obviously, of course. But she explains to them that what their plan is, if he does say yes, is to go ahead with the K-1 visa process and bring him here to the U.S. But one of the friends, the long-haired friend, asked, but what about the whole second wife thing? I thought he wanted, you know, a second wife because he wants to have kids. And she says, well, yeah, we're still going to do that too. But she's just going to be for having kids. And then I'm just going to be, you know, Kim, married to Usman, and that's just going to be that. And, you know, he's going to have the kids, and, you know, she'll just be there. That in her head, that's how it's going to work. And so her friend legitimately asked, what makes you think that he is not going to build a connection with this second wife that has the children? And can he even bring them over here to the U.S.? Turns out, no, they can't. They can't come. She's read the laws and whatever, and they can't come. So what makes you think that he would need you after that? But does Usman even want to come to America? Has he ever wanted to come to America? I don't remember that being a goal of his. I don't remember it being a goal of his with baby girl Lisa. So I don't even know if he wants to do that. But either way, if he does, he's not going to be able to bring these kids over here. So why would he come? Maybe I don't know. You know, he's Soulja Boy. He's a international superstar. Maybe that's what he wants. Obviously, I mean, I don't know. I've just never heard of him wanting a green card, but I could be wrong. I don't pay attention enough sometimes. So yeah, she said Kim, you know, as her friends are showing their concern in regards to the second wife, she's just like, well, people there are brought up to do this. I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. They're brought up just to have kids and be the second wife that just has kids, or is it like a serious sister wife type thing where, you know, they are actually involved in the marriage and they have different families, but they're all one big family, you know, like polyamorous type of deal. Like, is that what's going on? But that's not clear yet, and I don't know if it will become clear because it's stupid. So of course her friends think she's delusional and unrealistic and naive, and she gets defensive at this point because that's not what she wants to hear. Point blank period. It's not what she wants to hear. She wants to hear, oh, good job, Kim, that sounds great, everything's gonna work out perfectly, you just watch. But no, It's not. It's not gonna happen like that. It's not gonna happen how she has it in her head. Um, but people have to learn the hard way. So, like, what this made me think about was, at first I liked Kim. At first I liked Kim because I felt for her, and she was nice, and it just felt like she was, just a little naive, a lot naive, and just wanting to find love. But now you want to look stupid. That's what your goal is. Obviously, you want to look dumb, because what the fuck? You're going to propose to him, and you're okay with him having a second wife that just has his children because you can't. And her friend is just like rightfully so. Who even are you? What the fuck is going on? Like, that's what I would say too. Like, who are you? What? That makes no, what? Aren't you smarter than that? I don't know. That's just me. She thinks Kim is moving too fast, and so, Kim gets upset and just gets up and walks off. And I understand her being upset and defensive, because I get defensive as well. But they're asking fully valid questions. Like, they're not asking anything out of the ordinary. And with that being Soulja Boy, of course these are valid questions. Like, why wouldn't they be? Alright, so now we can talk about stupid Libby and stupid Andre. They're not stupid. I just don't like her family. They're annoying. They're all annoying, but, whatever. So they're, having a little family time, playing tennis at this new tennis club that they joined with Ellie, who's now 3 years old. And they tell us, we go through the montage of them, how they met up, and blah. We don't need to go through that again, please God. So they tell us that they finally have a new house, maybe 3 or 4 years later. And Andre is proud of this because it symbolizes the American dream itself, owning a home. Okay. And so they're giving Daddy Chuck, a walkthrough of the home. He's, seeing, a tour of their new home. And Libby kind of, she's, describing everything that's in the house, and they're in the kitchen, and she's like, this is our kitchen, and we have pocket doors, so they hide, what did she say? So when they open, they're hidden. They look like, sliding doors, because they look like sliding doors. Just wondering. They looked exactly like sliding doors. But anyway, and so, Chuck is impressed with the house, and he asks if the sisters have seen it, and he says get ready for a lot of jealousy, which is sad, because why can't they just be happy for Libby? I mean, I'm one to talk, because I have a problem being happy for people. I get very jealous. I'm weird, but it's just like they just try to nitpick and create situations, and just like, that's your sister. So what? She married this loser. It's your sister. Like, why treat her like crap? I mean, Libby does some dumb stuff, we know, but I'm so over this family. I'm sorry. I'm really over this family. But anyway, so Libby goes through this explanation of why she's not talking to her sisters or her brother, and because of the alcoholism and the fights and all of that in the past few seasons. Basically, Charlie and Megan don't come around no more, and that's fine with everybody except Mom. And it's because he hasn't done anything to correct or fix his alcoholism issue, which is always a problem when it comes to the family gatherings that they try to have when it comes to trying to make them peaceful, because Charlie will start to drink and get out of control. And Libby has also been keeping distance from her sisters because of them being too jealous of Andre, which is weird. It wasn't jealousy. It was, maybe it was jealousy, but it was more so like, this is my family, bitch. Like, why you coming in and asking my dad for money? And like, who are you? It wasn't jealousy. It was just like the audacity, the audacity of this man to come in here and do this shit. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so Libby's seen her sisters a little bit, but not as much, and Andre's been trying to keep his distance. He, as they're going into Lily's room, Ellie, as they're going into Ellie's room to show Chuck, Andre then starts to tell Chuck that, yeah, so we have Ellie's room right here, and then across the hall we're going to build a studio because Libby wants to start singing. And this is apparently something that she's been doing since she was a child, but I don't remember hearing anything about it. Maybe a little bit on her Instagram, but I don't know. Not very much. So, yeah, they say, he says, so yeah, we're going to build this studio for Libby, for her singing. And then if that doesn't work out, we're just going to have a second child. Okay. But she gets mad because they haven't discussed that. That's just something that's coming out of his mouth. And it seemed like this argument seemed so just mundane because obviously he was just saying something out of his fucking ass. And then, he didn't, I don't think it was meant to be taken as a serious, oh, we're going to have a baby right now. We're going to do this singing career right now. I don't think it meant to be that serious. But of course, TLC and Matt Sharp. Gotta get those viewers. So then, with Libby and Andre telling Chuck everything that Libby has planned with the singing career that's definitely happening, and the baby that's definitely happening right now, Chuck starts to get worried because he's just like, well, what about your commitment to me? How are you going to uphold your commitment to me? Which is working for him. And I'm seriously just like, bro, this was just, I swear this had to just be like a swing by thought. Why are we doing all of this right now? But that's why I can't fucking talk about them. And so Libby also tells us that she's trying to find herself and do more of what she loves, which is apparently singing. But she doesn't want to allow anybody to brush her decision in whether or not she's going to stay and keep working for her dad or whether or not she's going to do the singing thing. And she's not going to let her husband make a decision for her. And so now we come back to, now we start with Yara and Jovi. I wrote down Yara going into baddie mode while Jovi with Mila in daddy mode. Because that's literally how the scene started. But basically it's been 2 years since they've been married, which is a pretty long time. But yeah, I guess it kind of feels like that. Mila is 17 months, so she's 1. And is she 1? Yeah. So yeah, they're doing their little montage about how they met, and then one thing that they point out that we didn't really know about was the fact that the first night that they spent together, Jovi slept with his wallet and everything under his pillow. Now they're married. Anyway, they talk about Mila and how wonderful of a child she is, but Yara likes to call her Jovina because she acts 100% like Jovi, and she doesn't like it all the time, but she loves her baby. So yeah, at this moment, like I said, Yara was going into baddie mode. She was going out with her friends just to have some wine. 2 friends just to have some goddamn wine. And Jovi is jealous, like really jealous. like a big baby jealous because she's finally fun or something, and everybody gets to hang out with fun Yara, but I don't know. It's so stupid. It's just like you're off. You literally work 1 month and you're off 1 month. You're gone for 6 months out of the year, off and on. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do? Sit here? You think I'm not gonna get a few friends so I can have a fucking glass of wine with? Like, come on, sir. But yeah, so he's really jealous that she finally has a social life in America and basically doesn't need just him. And he doesn't like her friends. He thinks that they're a bad influence. But let's remember that Jovi partied all the time when Yara was pregnant. When Yara was pregnant and when they first got married, and she hated it. And he was always drunk. So, karma. But she thinks that what she's doing, which is going out to have some wine with her friends, is not the same as going to strip clubs and going to parties, and it's not. So she doesn't think what she's doing is as bad, and it's not. She's fine. But I don't know about this, like how late she stays out. That depends on. We haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know how serious that is. But he's just like, try to get home at a decent hour at least. We don't know what that means, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, Jovi wants to hang out with Fun Yara too. And he actually says that if they didn't have Mila, then they'd probably be divorced by now because they haven't been working on them. And so Yara then goes to meet her friends Symphony and Adele at some restaurant to have a glass of wine. And they're, her new fellow mom friends. And they can relate to her struggle with Jovi and his jealousy because they're also married and they have kids and they've been through all of that. And then Yara begins to talk about, I can't remember what they were talking about, but somehow it brought up the conversation about sharing locations. And Adele says she's surprised that they share locations because it's not normal. It is. I track my entire family for safety reasons, okay? Don't judge me. Those who will let me. My brothers will not let me. So yeah, he originally got her location for safety reasons because, she was new to America and didn't know anybody. What if somebody took her and, he couldn't find her? Her location's gone. That when that works. But yeah, Yara is confused as to why Jovi has this trust issue, and Adele is 100% convinced it's because Jovi knows that Yara is beautiful and can get anyone can just like snatch her up at any time and be like, you and your baby, I want to take care of you, come live with me, which is creepy. Who would do that? I mean, somebody would do that, but why would she do that? Yara didn't come here for gold digging reasons. Yara came here to be with somebody that she fell in love with. So that's stupid. But so the discussion turns into them. She says he reminds her of her mom because he's dominant and he tells her what to do and she likes being told what to do. And I feel that. And so then the conversation turns into sex, and they say she's describing how it's just hard for her to feel comfortable having sex now with Jovi because of how her breasts have changed since she's had Milo. So that's understandable. But then Adele points out her implants, which look okay. I mean, in that dress she had, no. But she says her one regret is not going big enough in that dress. Yeah. But so now that leads to the discussion of Yara wanting to get breast implants because for confidence reasons. She wants to feel good about herself, but she also feels like Jovi will be more attracted to her, and she says that he's point blank told her that her breasts don't look nice. So that's a husband for you, I guess. But yeah, so she thinks a boob job is the solution. so that they can have more sex and spend more time together. Yep. All right, so now. Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention about Libby was the lunch that she had with her fucking sisters. I don't like her sisters. I don't like her family. I like Chuck, but he's such a pushover. I just feel bad for the guy. But yeah, so Libby goes out to have lunch or something with her mom and her sisters, Becky and Jen. And there's no men at lunch, so that's great because there's no testosterone, which normally is what causes everything to go to shit at I don't know how to pronounce their last name, function. But yeah, so Mom makes a comment about I think it's Jen, and asks, so how's the baby? Are you pregnant or something? And then she's like, I guess not because you're drinking. And then she says, well, I'm ovulating, so I guess she's trying. That one has kids. They both have kids. I don't know. Yeah. Not to say that they can't have any more kids, but I guess she's old. So I'm just like, why are you trying? Shut up, Jess. You don't have kids. Anyway, so yeah, Libby starts to talk about how she just joined a tennis club, and then it starts to downpour. Like, no warning at all. Like she said, no drizzle, nothing, just downpour. And so they have to move everything inside. But, they start right back up talking about the fucking tennis club, and she is trying to play it off like she's talking about, well, yeah, I'm trying to find things that Ellie likes to do so we can see, so she can discover what she likes. And yeah, I've also been kind of trying to discover what I like too, and I think I might get back into singing. And they're just like, oh, okay. So they seem like not shocked, not like, really? They seem just like, oh, okay. Like they know that singing is a passion of hers and something that she's been doing for a while, and she must be good at it. But I guess she's probably never given it the professional go, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they say they're not really surprised that it's something that she still wants to do, but she doesn't like that she feels like Andre is giving her permission to step down and allow her to do it, because it feels like, he's making a decision for her, which is understandable and shitty. But of course, her sisters are suspicious, as usual, that he has ulterior motives because he's being extra supportive about it. They're just like, well, we don't know why Andre is so, supportive and so backing of this idea of hers to sing. So we're thinking that maybe, like, what's in it for him? Shut up. Shut your fucking mouths. Okay? Anyway, so the mom brings up Charlie because she is concerned. She sees a change in Charlie and she wants everyone else to witness this change as well, but everybody is avoiding him. So, but she thinks that they should come around and they should try to talk to him, and they don't feel like they should have to. They feel like he fucked things up and he's the one that needs to fix his shit and come to them. And he does, if he has a problem with alcohol that bad. But the mom is just what did Libby say? I can't remember the word she used, but she's just naive towards the fact that her son is an alcoholic and that he has an issue, and that he has an issue, and not they have an issue with him. Their issue with him is that he won't fix his problem, and they want him to do something about, the fact that he gets drunk every time they have a function, and it has to turn into something violent. It has to. Every single time. We've never seen an event with Charlie where it didn't turn physical. And that's, who wants to keep coming around that? So yes, mom suggests, getting a mediator, and the mediator coming in and having everybody just allow them to talk to Charlie, and the sister's just like, we don't need to do that. You guys should do that. His parents maybe, but there's no reason that we should need to do that. But then mom starts to go into her little crying mode, where she's just like, well, my birthday is coming up, and I just want everybody to put aside their differences for just one day and just come and be together for me, and I don't think that's a lot to ask for. And they're like, it is. Sorry. It's a lot. We're not doing it. But then she's like, the mom gets real manipulative, because when Becky gets she gets emotional in terms of, like, she bangs her fist on the table, and the mom is just like, I think you have an anger problem. And I hate that. My mom does that to me. She provokes me and then calls me crazy. But I do that to her too, so don't, But yeah, so, and then the fake crying is just also manipulative. It's crazy. But so yeah, they ended that conversation with, sorry mom, not gonna buy it this time, not doing it. All right, so now we're gonna end off with Jenny and Smith, the finale of the premiere. So they're at the old house. Well, for one thing, Submit is really concerned because he's risking his relationship with his family by revealing to them that they're married. He wants Jenny to go with him to the house to meet the parents, but he doesn't want her to say anything. And so she's just like, so why am I coming? Same thing I said. So why is she there? Why you need her there? But he wants her there for support. And so she's like really upset because she, in this moment, just found out that he invited the family to the house and didn't include her in this decision. So she's just not feeling it. And she's just walking around the house just pissed off, all red in the face. And it's because she thinks that Submit is gonna, like, when it comes down to it, take his parents' side and be more supportive and there for him more than, there for them than he is for her in that moment. Which I think would be understandable, but I don't know. This whole Jenny and Submit thing is tricky. But basically, Submit just wants to be able to live his life happily with Jenny and his family peacefully. But that ain't gonna happen, boo. Ain't gonna happen. But yeah, so then we see them cleaning up the old house, which I have to ask, what is this old house? I don't know another house that they've had. I know that they've been in the same like apartment type style thing for since she got there. I don't know what old house they're talking about, but they're cleaning it. It's filthy dirty. So yeah, Jenny's cleaning with the broom that she has to bend down to use, and she's sweeping the whole kitchen, which needs more than a broom. It needs like a mop and some other things, and they're both just sweating like crazy. And I don't know if it's because of nerves or because of like genuinely they're just hot in that house while they're cleaning, which is typical. But Jenny doesn't like to clean, as we know, so she's just cleaning, but she's complaining. Meanwhile, Submit is just like, well, make sure you get the corners, because he knows his mom. He knows how particular she is, and she knows how judgmental his mom is, because she said the last time she came, all she did was judge her about how dirty her house was, and she's a grown woman. She doesn't need to be judged, and I feel that, especially if you're the same age as me. If you're gonna come in my house and judge me, I don't get out. You don't need to be here. Yeah, fuck that lady. I mean, that's, God. Anyway. So yeah, they're both sweating like crazy, especially Jenny. And I really think it's because of nerves. Even Submit says he feels like he's got like a fever coming on. But that broom would just kill me. Sorry, it would just kill me. And then it didn't even look like anything was clean because there was so much stuff, especially in the kitchen. There was so much stuff on the shelves and the counter that is just like just over cluttered. And there was just like a little teeny slither of space for doing something at the end of each. It was just a lot. But the living room looked nice. The living room was clean and looked nice. The kitchen had a lot going on. So the family gets there. They ring the doorbell, and he greets them so the family gets there and they ring the doorbell, and then he's going to greet them at the door, but Jenny gives him this like weird hug and smile, and it's just like, what was it? I don't know what the heck that was, but it was weird. So he goes to greet them, and they do the kiss of the feet thing, and then they come into the house and they all sit in the living room. And then Jenny comes out and she brings some chai tea. And she says, hi everybody. And then she sits down and she says, I'm so hot from being in the kitchen. Yeah, she says, I'm so hot from being in the kitchen. And Submit translates, and she said, and the mom responds, she's hot just from making tea. I said, wait a minute, what? Like, what are you talking to? But then she continues, and Jenny's just like, well, I've been in the kitchen for a while, and the mom is just like, well, somebody got to do it. Strike number 2. And so she continues to, then Jenny's trying to be nice, and she says, they ask her how she's doing, and she says, I'm well, but she says it in, whatever language they speak. I don't want to say Indian because I don't, it's different. I don't know. But that she mocks the way she says it, basically, in like behind her back, because they say it in her, because she's like mocking her in her own language. So her and the daughter-in-law are like sitting there laughing to each other. But I think the daughter-in-law is just laughing out of respect for the mom, because she probably thinks the mom is crazy too. And so then she makes fun of her arms too, because they're flabby, I guess. But so, remember when Submit told her not to say anything? She remembered that. But what happened? Because as soon as she sat down, she didn't shut up. But then she got mad because Submit wasn't saying anything. But she wasn't giving him a chance to say anything. So what was, like, she did not give him, I guess, I don't know because of editing, but she did not give him a chance to speak because she just kept saying things. And, he was being quiet. He could have jumped in. But I think she was just being very impatient, probably because she was nervous and wanted to get it over with, which I understand. So she goes, hey, you guys, remember that time in the park when you guys said we could get married? You remember you said you were okay with that and you accepted me and you loved me and you weren't going to stand in our way? What happened? What happened with that? Because I haven't heard from you guys since then. And so Submit translates, and he also mentions, the fact that they approved the marriage. They said that they could get married. Meanwhile, we also have the flashbacks, because it's on film multiple times of them saying that they approved and they were going to let them get married, because the astrologer, the all-knowing astrologer, told the mom that it was okay, and told them that it was okay. And so Submit says, yeah, you guys told us we can get married, and you approved, and you weren't going to stand in our way, blah blah blah. And she goes, no, never said that. No, never said that. No, I don't remember that. Show me. Like, where did you see this? Show me the proof. And Just like, roll the tape back. Where the producers at? Roll the tape back. Because, bitch, no, you did not just sit here and completely act like none of that happened. What? I couldn't believe it. I was flabbergasted. She said, on my deathbed, never would I say that you could marry her. Ma'am, we all heard it. We all heard it and saw it. Ma'am. So he gets upset. Sumit gets upset in this confrontation with his mom, and he finally lets it out and says, well, I'm married. We got married. God damn it. Fuck you on me now. He didn't say that. And so she instantly gets upset and says, don't you ever show your face around here again. Don't you ever bring your little ass around this house, or I will insult you and throw you out. And she loses it. She's beyond betrayed. She's hurt. She's broken. She's just like, I'm done. And that's where we end off. So, yeah. That was episode 1. Can't wait for episode 2. So much more to say. So much more to happen. The preview looks good. So we'll see. Until then, good night.